episode 4 of the Dumpster Fire podcast. We have a special guest chilling with us today. His name's Nick. What's up, Nick?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. This is a special episode, and we're super stoked to have you. So basically...
This is my first time meeting him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is like, yeah.
Hi, I'm Nick, by the way.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Patrick.
Whoa, really?
This is the first time you're meeting me too. We just pulled him off the street.
I've been wondering who you were for the past 4 weeks. God damn. Some rando trying to review albums with me.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I just invited some random person on Facebook to a Zoom call and was like, here you go. Come review albums with me.
That could honestly go so well one time though.
I mean, we totally should. Like when we start bringing just random guests on, just like email somebody like a random email address, a link to a Zoom call.
They can't listen to the album. We'll just be like, hey.
Have you heard this album?
Yay or nay?
Okay, you're going to review it anyways. Make it up as you go. Speaking of which, because Nick is our special guest on this podcast, we decided to let him pick the album that we do. So why don't you introduce the album we'll be reviewing today?
Yeah, man. I'm really excited about this one because when I was like 15, 16 years old, this was my favorite metalcore band, underground of all time. Like Moths To Flames, No Eternity in Gold.
It is a sick
one, right?
record.
It's a what, sorry?
This is their new one, right? Like this came out this year?
Yeah.
This came out
before Halloween.
2 weeks ago. Like 2 weeks ago.
No,
or like
October 30th.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
almost a month.
Almost a month ago,
Oh, hell yeah. I've been looking for their music to come out for so long. I've been like, where the hell are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I liked. Yeah, okay. This is a band that I loved growing up for sure. Pretty much straight from the first like full length that they put out. I forget the name of it.
When We Don't Exist.
Yes, and then they did Eye for an Eye, which is I loved that record. That was so amazing.
It was pretty good.
That was my favorite.
The last one they put out in 2017, Divine something. Divine.
It's Dark Divine.
Dark Divine. Thank you. That record was. I loved that record. Honestly, I really liked it. It was a different sound. It was a different vibe, but I don't know. I think they were trying to go a little bit more mainstream with it, see if they can get some like kind of traction, a little bit of success with that. And it didn't actually, I was reading about it and it didn't chart like any higher really than any of their other albums. So it's nice to kind of see them fall back into that original sound again. That they kind of built up. Like it's one band that hasn't changed a lot throughout most of their records, I find.
Oh yeah.
You did forget one of their albums.
Yes, yeah.
The Dying Things We Live For, and then a Dark Divine.
Yeah.
So
was that what did you think of The Dying Things We Live For?
I thought it was an okay album. Which one was there? Was it No King?
Yeah, that was
okay. No, I think that was their first single they released. Really fast, really heavy. I really loved it. That song, but the rest of even like the Dying Things We Live For and Dark Divine, I was really disappointed, especially growing up to listen When We Don't Exist, which is produced by one of my favorite producer engineer of all time, Will Putney. I was really disappointed with their last two release, but then No Eternity in Gold, I thought it was okay. I was kind of disappointed, but it's better. It's definitely better than Dark Divine and the last two other, for sure. I'll say that. So it was okay in the end.
Yeah, my number one album from Like Moths To Flames, I'm not gonna lie, it is Dark Divine. Yeah, but this album is very close up there as well with my top three. I would say in their catalog now is Dark Divine, No Eternity in Gold, and Eye for an Eye. I'm not gonna lie, those are my top three.
You don't like When We Don't Exist?
It's a great album, but I find for me, like kind of growing with music and stuff, it's kind of for me it's a little bit dated, and I've listened to it a lot, and it's kind of just it just kind of falls for me now. I don't know. There's certain songs that I'll always go back to on that record, certain songs, but as like I'll listen to the whole thing, I don't really listen to the full thing anymore.
Oh, it's so good. It's such a good album.
It is.
It's literally still like my favorite like
there's not an album of these guys that I don't like, but
sure.
in terms of
for sure
kind of where they place, it would be probably like fourth for me.
Yeah, I just like that this album, because I haven't listened to like hardcore music in a long time, but like this album is making me like want to get back into the like metalcore music. This is kind of like, especially for people who are like wanting to try and listen to like more metalcore music, like this is probably the album that I'd show people to kind of be like, well, this is kind of like a nice segue into that genre.
Yeah, I can feel that. I can feel that.
I back it.
In terms of like new music that you could be like, hey, this is a brand new album. Why don't you give this a shot and kind of work your way backwards? I can totally see that. It's a good album. It's a good album. I will give it that. All right, so Like Moths to Flames, No Eternity in Gold. First track, The Anatomy of Evil. Lindsay, what do you think?
I love the build at the beginning. I always appreciate a good fucking scream. And because I haven't heard them in a while, I forgot just how fucking good his scream was. And I just like remember hearing it after that like build. I was just like, oh yes. And then like lyrically, I like the part where he was like finding comfort in isolation, silent and fateless, finding my comfort in these empty spaces, hollow and weightless. I think the vocals that he used in that part just fit perfectly with like the mood that he was trying to put into those lyrics. And then it kind of just blended nicely with like the screams and the backing vocals. And there was like a nice balance basically overall between everything. Great way to start the album.
There is so many like vocal layers.
The whole album, like voice. Every song has so many layers.
So many. Like you cannot get that tone without having like so many layers. Like it's not just like a freaking like two voices or like one voice or whatever. It's like I would love to see that session and just see how many, like it's probably like freaking 30 something vocal tracks per song, just like
and I don't know how into video games you guys are, but if you've ever played like Devil May Cry, like the instrumental in this song reminded me so hard of the soundtrack of Devil May Cry, like the original DMC Devil May Cry. And I like as soon as I heard the song, I was like, oh fuck yes, Devil May Cry. I love that video game. I have a tattoo of it on the back of my neck. Like I love that game.
This song, course and lyrically is phenomenal. I think like in terms of the last two albums we've reviewed, I think we've picked two amazing lyrical bands to review. Because the lyrics on this album, I would say, are equally as good as the last one that we did. But I kind of like how it talks a little bit about like isolation and like empty spaces and stuff. I think it kind of fits really interestingly with the times that we're in right now as well. In terms of an opening track, what do you think? Do you think this was like a good opening track for the album?
I think so.
Do I think it's the best song on the album? No. Do I think this is a good intro to what is yet to come on the rest of the album? Yeah. So I think for like a first song on the album, it's a good choice. Fair. It's a nice kind of foundation to build for the rest of the album.
Yeah. No, I can see that for sure. I love how it drops like that initial like first note that you actually hear after that whole build part drops in on like an offbeat I don't know if you like actually caught that, but it drops in on like this awkward time, and I love it. I got that from like the first second that I heard that, I was like, and I'm intrigued. Like, I'm interested. What do you think, Nick?
Actually, y'all were saying how it's not your favorite off the album. Personally, it's a good fucking song. It's my favorite off the album. It's my number one. What I really, really, really absolutely love is that first verse. It's the first line. I think it's the first lines. If hell exists and it resembles everything that I can't forget, which is just is like, damn, like that's fucked up. You know, like it's like if you had a really terrible past, you know, and if you relate to a lot of the stuff that he writes, you know, you went through a lot of shit, and it's a dark past. And if hell is really what it is, you know, and it's like things you can't forget, like let's just hope we don't go to hell, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
basically. But
that's a really cool line. I agree.
And that breakdown, man, that fucking breakdown, bro. Literally, first time I heard it, I was like, chills, chills. And then I heard it again, I was like, chills again, bro. It's just, it's so good. I really like that song for sure.
Throughout the entire album, the breakdowns are killer. The lyrics are great, and I can't say enough about this man's like clean vocal approach or his sung vocal approach. Like shivers all through my body every time, man. Like he's one of my favorites for sure.
You know, you got a good vocalist when he not only can he sing, but he can scream.
Yep.
As soon as I hear that in a band, I'm done. I'm like sold, done.
I'm sorry, Nick. I'm just not that talented.
If you guys like, if you guys like clean and good screams, do y'all know the band Dayseeker?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Well, my last show before quarantine and everything was literally like a few days maybe before quarantine. Me and my girlfriend went to see Weekend as Romans, Devil West Prada, Gideon, Dayseeker in Montreal. Dayseeker was like the best band of the night. It was so good. They were fantastic. And if you guys want to, you guys should definitely check out their new album. I forgot what it's called. But it's a fantastic album to review, honestly. He's a really good singer, the guy.
Next week it is.
I fucking wish.
Nick, we'll have you back. Round 2. Anything else on the Anatomy of Evil?
Not really. I think I already what I said. Sure the breakdown's the best part.
Oh yeah.
I love it. It's really good.
Habitual Decline. This was the first single off the record.
Ooh.
Was it?
Yep. Yeah, it was the first single off the record. Yeah. Cool. I think this was the perfect song as like a first, in terms of like a first single, because I think it hits like every single thing that they kind of stand for as a band. In terms of like lyrically, the chorus hits super hard. Yeah, it's the perfect single. Like that chorus and the lyrics in the chorus as well just hit like abandon all I know until I dissipate. As far as I'm concerned, I never got what I gave. Is there something else that I should know before I send my soul to the fire below? Like those. Yeah, that's literally just what I think in terms of a lot of their lyrical approaches. They kind of hit that same kind of vibe almost. Yeah. So I think in terms of a first single, it hit like everything on the nose. I think I wrote something else here too. I think it's the first verse. This is the gloom of the silence that echoes through. Suppress the feeling I lack peace of mind. No matter where we shine, we leave a shadow behind. Oh. Lyrics just hit hard, man. I love the lyrics. Like the whole record, man. The whole record lyrically is a masterpiece.
I'm a hoe for lyrics. You know me.
Oh yeah, and there's no shortage of good ones
here. This whole album,
here.
I was just like, fuck. You're the singles man. You know all the singles on all the albums. Like even the ones that I pick, you're just like, oh, this was the single. No. Okay, cool. Good job, Patrick.
I do my research. Okay, I do my research. I take this very seriously. The only song that I could see being a killer first song for the album, other than the Anatomy of Evil, would be Habitual Decline. If you like brought that like eerie guitar thing out a little bit more and kind of like developed almost like an intro with that, I think that would have been a super sick intro to the album as well. In terms of a live set, I guarantee you those first shows that you see them come out and play again, they're going to be opening with this song. Like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a killer opener.
That guitar at the beginning gave me like Snake Charmer vibes, and I was like, ooh, what is this? And then it just basically punched you in the face with like a headbanger right off the bat, and I was just like, yes, this is what I want.
I actually wrote down the intro guitar lick as well. That it's so good. It's so catchy. It's
like Snake Charmer vibes.
Oh my god! I think literally anybody who listens to the song are gonna compliment the guitar lick in the intro. It's just so good.
I think like overall, instrumentally, like I can't say enough like vocally about what they do and lyrically, but even instrumentally, I would say this is a damn good album. Like this is in terms of like you see a lot of bands kind of taking a step back and kind of going more like a mainstream route, especially in this scene. And this is one of those bands that it's kind of interesting because they did that with the last album they put out. They went that more mainstream route, and it didn't really work. So they kind of took a step back and they went back to kind of their roots. And in my opinion, they put out a killer album. So I hope this one, I hope this kind of, you know, takes them to new heights because they deserve it. They've been around a long time.
Oh, yeah. Make me feel old there, Patrick.
Oh my gosh. Yo, When We Don't Exist next year is when we don't exist next year. Turns 10 next year is what I was gonna say. Yes.
That's unbelievable. That's nuts to think that one of my favorite records of all time is turning 10 years old. I mean, what is it? Is it the Attack self-title? When is that coming out? Like, I think it's 10 years old this year.
It should be 10. Should be 10.
Oh my god, I'm fucking old, even though y'all are older than me, for sure.
Yeah, man. I was 13 when these albums were coming out, so
basically.
Oh no.
Yeah, this was literally like me growing up with these albums, like through those like crucial years, you know. I remember, were you at the did you go to the Rise Records tour in like 2012 when it
with My Ticket
Mavericks?
Home?
Yep. Crown the Empire.
Sadly, no. I wish I did.
What was it? It was My Ticket Home, Palisades.
It was My Ticket Homes, Palisades, Crown the Empire, the Color Morale, and then Like Moths To Flames.
Yep.
No, I didn't go.
Oh,
sadly.
that was such a killer show, man. I was there.
And by the way, that My Ticket Home, Strangers Only came out that fucking year, and I was so mad because it's such a good record, and I literally have it on vinyl. One day, when Rise pressed some vinyls, and I literally have it.
Yeah,
I'm so sad.
That's I love such vinyl. A good album.
That is that's a great album. I love that album.
I got a few, but they're in my living room, so I can't just leave and show you a bunch of my records, sadly. But
I mean, hey, we'll do that eventually.
Eventually, we'll be like, look at our vinyl collection.
Look at the vinyl collection.
Ready to sit with me for 6 hours.
It's not big, but it's a classic. Like I have a lot of classic in there. So.
Oh yeah. Third song, Burn in Fire, Drown in Flame.
It's Burn in Water. No.
Yes, it is.
Burn in Water, Drown in
Flame.
Burn in Water.
I wrote it down wrong. I wrote it down wrong in my book.
Close enough.
My bad.
Good enough, Pat. Good enough.
Wow. I have it written down wrong in my book, and then I have it written down right on my screen. I'm reading the wrong one.
Wong.
The Wog one.
The Wog one. Nick, what do you think about this song?
This is a song that I really don't like. This is the one that I really don't like. I find it repeats a lot. It's, I don't know which song it is, but one of them literally repeats the chorus like 3 or 4 times, and I think it's this one.
Yeah, I think it's this one too.
Or it could be the next song, because I literally wrote that down twice. But and I find the lyrics are kind of weak on this one personally. Even on the whole record, I find that he's talking about one story instead of talking about multiple story, or like, it's like one big story, but in each song it's a different phase, or like the different part of this story or that story. Yeah. So that's why lyrics personally for this record, I'm not a fan. And this song is literally personally just not my favorite.
Fair.
Yeah.
I like the intro to the song. I find it kind of groovy. Like it has that like little bit of a build up. It's like drums and bass, and it's kind of this groovy kind of feel before it drops into that kind of more aggressive thing. This is one of my favorite choruses on the song. I love the tone and the approach. Lyrically, it's all right. But in terms of like the actual vocal delivery and just the instrumental of the actual chorus, I find it's one of my faves. I wrote down some lyrics for this one too. Teach me how to feel inspired. I've lost motivation, and I'm so fucking tired of draining out my heart of every word as it falls apart. Those lyrics hit hard, in my opinion. Anyways, it's not one of my. It's probably in my top 5 on the record, but it's not one of my faves. But lyrically as well, like it's not fantastic, but in terms of a song, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I find with this song, it was more one of those songs where a bunch of the other songs on the album, the entire thing, lyrically, is like a masterpiece. But with this song, it's just like only bits and pieces of it were good, and certain lines of the song were good, and then the rest of it kind of all just faded away. So with this song, you can only pick certain lines where you're like, oh, that's a good line. But like instrumentally, this song, I thought it was super cool how like all the instruments felt like they were kind of moving in like perfect unison, almost in a way. Yeah. So for me, this song was like cool instrumentally, but lyrically it kind of flopped for me.
Fair. Fair.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I can see that. Cool. Yo, I was in my Facebook memories today, and it is 2 years since we played the Brass Monkey.
I know.
I'm dying inside, bro.
Because actually that means today has been 2 years since I moved to Quebec.
Yep. And and 2 days ago, I don't think you were there for that show, but 2 days ago was a year since the last show that we played.
No, I wasn't there.
No, it was a year since the last show that we played, because the last show we played was November 23rd, I think, of last year. Oh, I'm dying. Sucks. All right, Fluorescent White.
Fluorescent White.
Listening, Nick is Patrick's drummer.
Yeah.
Drummer. Yes,
drummer.
Yes.
In a I just realized at the beginning all we said was, "This is Nick."
Yes, true.
Yeah.
True. We play in a band called False Truth.
Not anymore.
Not really anymore.
No. False Truth is on pause.
We played in a band called False Truth.
And us being still in the band is False Truth. So.
Sorry, what?
I said, and us being in the band is still False Truth, because we're not a. Anyways. Catchy. See what I mean?
All the puns.
All the things. Fluorescent White.
Heavy intro.
Fuck.
Oh yeah.
Very, very heavy intro. I'm not usually a huge fan of songs that just go bam, you know, and like you're right into it. I normally like some kind of like, it doesn't have to be like a build, but it could be like, you know, a couple hi-hat hits before it hits you in the face or something, you know. I don't normally like but songs that just like boom hit off with like that first note and you're in it. But this one was very interesting. I still want to say this man as a vocalist is like mind blowing, man. He's
it's I'll say this about his lyrics. They're easy because I'm not a person that write lyrics. I'm more of a musician. I write a lot of the music. Personally, his lyrics are, you know, very easy and very cheesy, but if it's basic and it makes sense and it comes from the heart, I guess it's a good lyric, you know. Personally, I find he instead of writing big words like for example Brandon Murphy from Counterparts, he writes a lot of poems and like in the songs and use big words, but this guy used simple words and I like it about his lyrics. So I agree about you that his lyrics are fantastic on that one. So
I mean, you can also see like the poetry in the words that he uses as well. It's just more based around a specific topic, whereas like a lot of other vocalists will try to write things about this and things about that and things about this, and it's more just like, I'm gonna write about, you know, exactly what I'm feeling right now in this moment, you know, which I can respect that because it's the easiest thing to write about because it's what you're feeling in this exact moment and what you know. You're not trying to write someone else's story or something about something that you might not know a lot about and might not be your place to write about. You know, that's when in doubt, just write about what you know.
Like, and I feel like he takes a pretty like he seems like, I mean, I don't know much about songwriting. I'm more just like someone who is like, when I listen to songs, I obsess over the lyrics. But like for his songwriting, he seems to take like a more simple approach at it while still being able to like pull off some like really great lines in his songs, even if he's doing something and like writing it in a really simple way.
Yeah.
In terms of like just actual overall vocal delivery though, in his sung vocals, I know like immediately you know it's him.
Yeah.
And I give massive props to any vocalist that you can literally just flip through the radio and listen to like half a second of the tone that he's using and be like, that's Like Moths To Flames, or that's that band. Because there's so many vocalists that just end up sounding the same. Scream wise too. I can't think of one vocalist that sounds the same sung or screamed as this one does.
He's a very like his tone, screaming and singing, like you can easily recognize that it's Like Moths To Flames. You can easily recognize that it's Chris that's singing or screaming or all this stuff, you know. So no, I agree with you. He's got a unique sound in his voice, and I fuck with it. I
would kill to be able to have that like almost natural like aggression in my sung vocals. Like, do you have any idea how much like you gotta be like? I'm like, I want to do it, but I can't. Like,
there is a technique to screaming.
Oh, I know.
If you don't do it, you fuck your vocal cords.
I'm not even talking screaming. I'm talking about like that sung aspect to it, which there's definitely a technique for that too. And I'm not saying there isn't, but man.
But the reason like I lose my voice all the time is because I was in a screamo band in fucking high school and I was the vocalist, and instead of doing it properly I was just like and then like my vocals. I mean, I had a sick time, but like that's why my voice sounds fucked all the time, and it'll bounce between sounding like it's almost gone to just being fine.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, a lot of bands, I can't think of any on the top of my head, but a lot of vocalists, that's what happened with their vocals, like Avenged Sevenfold. What's his name?
M Shadows.
That's what happened. I'm pretty sure he was forcing too much, and like after a few like songs, he was coughing up blood at Warped Tour and shit like that. I could be wrong. I could be thinking of the wrong band, but there's a lot of bands that fucked up their voice and they can't scream anymore. So.
Oh yeah. People don't give metalcore shit enough credit.
No,
it's hard to do. It's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's not just like any vocal that isn't just like a natural, like clean tone is hard to do. Like if you want to have like a raspy tone, if you want to have like this or that, there's techniques you have to go through and things you have to learn and different approaches you have to do. If it's not just like a natural like like sorry, where
segueing back into the song.
Yes.
I liked that Fluorescent White. To me, at least, seemed like it had more singing than screaming.
Yeah.
And it was basically the song on the album that was like, you think I can't sing? Well, fuck you, I can.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Which I found very funny because it's the most like aggressive song in terms of like instrumentally that you've heard so far. Because it's like right in your face, very fast. But it has more sung vocals than it does screams, which was kind of interesting. What did I say? I said I like how a lot of these songs they're very aggressive and they have a lot of like scream aspects to them, but they don't lose the intensity when they actually hit the sung vocal parts either. Like they still like they carry, like, you know, a lot of bands you'll have like these scream parts and then when you hit those like clean sung vocals, it kind of drops in intensity and then kind of has to come back up here. But in terms of like this whole album, whether he's singing, whether he's screaming, like the intensity level stays the same, which is really not easy to do. And it's good songwriting because it's not easy to do.
Oh yeah, good vocal technique too.
Exactly. Nick, what do you think about? Did you talk about this yet?
I just said a heavy intro. Hold on, let me check my notes right here. Repeats the chords too much. That's really all I said much about this song. It's an okay song, but personally, you know, from growing up to listen eye to eye and when we don't forget, it's not my cup of tea. But good vocals and great screams. I think it's an okay song. I don't mind it. It's not the best song, but it's also not the worst song. So I'll give it that.
Yeah. I feel that this is a song that was iffy for me, but it was. I don't think there's any song that's a bad song on the record, which is always good to be able to say. Yeah. Fifth song, God Complex. Lindsay, go.
I found in this song, for some reason, his like singing vocals held more emotion than, or like the most emotion than in all the other singing in the other songs on the album. I'm a fucking drummer, so I found the drums on this song were goddamn phenomenal. And I love the little guitar riff at the beginning. And I think the screams are also one of the best on the album, on this song as well. And then it's like, I loved the lyric part where they used like, they basically used like like comparing a person to a snake, and almost had the metaphor where like someone who's basically a conniving bitch is just like a snake in your life. I thought that was a cool line too.
Yep.
Yeah.
My favorite line is actually technically the first two lines of the chorus. Can't leave your mark on a dead world that doesn't care who you are.
Yeah.
I was like, shit. Like, the world's dead. No one cares who you are. So you're not going to make an impact whatsoever is basically what I took away from that. It's like, and I mean, you're not wrong. Nobody, like, until you actually show up and I'm like, this is me, to like a large group of people, no one's going to give a crap about who you are, what you stand for, or anything about you. Until you give them a reason to care is basically a good segue back to a somewhat happy point. And I like the kind of bass kind of oriented, kind of drum aspect to like that intro area. I thought that was kind of interesting as well. And the breakdown at the ending is a pretty sick breakdown.
Yeah, I agree with you. That last breakdown's hella beautiful. Technical as fuck. Like the drums, guitar, everything. Ooh, fuck! I can't play anything. I mean, I can play it, but it's gonna take me, you know, a few tries to get it, you know, to actually play technical. But man, that stuff is like compared to like their last records. I don't know about Dark Divine because I didn't really listen much to it. It's probably more like surprise coming from them because they're usually not that technical as their other stuff. So I was really happy with this one because it caught me off guard. It's totally not like Moths To Flames, and it's a new sound which they're bringing in, which is sick. I like it.
Yeah, I like the new sound for sure. Like it's refreshing.
Yeah,
instrumentally.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always nice to be able to say that.
It's also really trippy. I don't know about you guys, but like the post-chorus, there's a lot of effects on it, and even the bass, it's like woo. Reminded me, you know, it's like it's a little like a drug trip going on, like an acid trip going on, which is really cool. Catchy chorus as hell, man. I really like that one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of shit going on in this song, like all at the same time, but it all still like blends together to work so well at the same time.
Exactly.
Yep. I feel that. Sixth song. YOTM.
Yes, sir.
Does that stand for something?
I tried breaking it down. I can't figure it out. I tried breaking it down. I can't figure it out. I really can't.
I spent like 20 minutes trying to figure this out too.
I was like listening to the lyrics and I was like, hey, is it in the song somewhere? I was like, I'm not going to Google this because I'm lazy as shit. So I was like, you know what? If it's not in the song, I give up. I'll see if Patrick can figure it out. So you didn't figure it out either.
No. So Habitual Decline was the first single off of this album. This one was the second.
Okay.
This was released after Habitual Decline. Mm-hmm. My main problem that I had with this song was there needed to be something between the verse and the chorus because the way they drop into between the two sections did not fit for me. Mm-hmm. It just felt like you were going from this one part. It felt like it was two separate parts and they were just like, we don't have anything to put in the middle, so we're just going to put them together. Like that's what I felt like. And I feel like as a second single, I listened to Habitual Decline. I was like, yeah, this record's going to be killer. And then I listened to this and I was like, it might not be the best one. Like it wasn't, for me, it wasn't a single. It shouldn't have been a single.
Yeah, I'm surprised it was a single, actually.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I don't know. I like all y'all talking shit about it. Damn you, Patrick.
Patrick, we're actually agreeing on something. This is a miracle.
Hey, no, normally it's like, this is my least favorite song. And she's like, that's my favorite one.
Oh. Yo,
I'm not saying this is a bad song.
No, it's not. There's no bad song on the record. This is another great record. But in terms of, this is probably my least favorite song.
My shit.
Really? I wouldn't go that
glitched.
far.
My shit just glitched hard. Sorry, don't want to talk over y'all. But my shit literally, like, both of you stopped, and I thought my computer was about to explode. I was like, oh no, oh no. It's just, I was like, oh fuck. But y'all don't agree a lot on things.
No, like I think on the first record, your favorite song was World War III, and mine was something like that was my least favorite song on the record. And then, when we did the last one we did, your favorite song was something, and it was my least favorite song, and my favorite song was something else, and it was literally the bottom of yours.
Yeah.
So literally, normally our favorite songs are each other's like least favorite songs. So the fact that we're agreeing on most of these songs is really funny.
I will say the only thing I thought about this stupid abbreviation, whatever the fuck it stands for, song was like the only thought that ran through my head was, God, I could fucking mosh to this song.
Yeah.
This is a good fucking mosh pit song.
Yeah. 100%. I think most of the record is almost all the record you could hit a mosh pit with.
But if it was just like, if we were just reviewing for mosh pit purposes, this song would be my number one.
Fair.
I also am just very deprived of mosh pits. I just want to fucking go to one.
Well, since it's y'all's like least favorite, it's literally my second favorite of the song, the whole album.
not
there
my
we go.
favorite.
There we go.
Oh, okay. It's not
It's
your
my
least favorite.
least favorite. Least favorite.
This song's more in the middle for me.
Oh, okay.
See, I just in terms of how good the rest of the record is, instrumentally, transitionally, lyrically, vocally, all this stuff, just to have that major one thing that just throws me off with not having those two parts transition properly, just automatically puts it at the bottom.
Fair. God, why are you just so picky, Patrick?
I don't know. Like, I'm a huge, like, I'm like,
try being in a band with them. It's even harder.
I'm like, send me a song and I'll be like, give me 2 days. I'm going to rewrite it.
Don't worry. Me and Patrick had a lil bro, big sis dynamic in college. I think for like your name on my phone is still Lil Bro in half of it, my shit, and the other half is fucking patty cakes.
Patty cakes.
I either said it as Little Bro or you said it as patty cakes, and I was like, yeah.
So a bunch of people used to call me patty cakes at work, and now like a bunch of them have like moved on to other things or whatever. So for some reason, a bunch of people know my last name is McGarry. So now whenever I walk in, somebody's always like, "Hey, it's Gary." I'm like, damn it. Like, how does this keep happening? You're like,
when I worked at the McDonald's with you, and I would make SpongeBob references with your name, and when I was talking about you, no one understood, and I was like, rude. Fucking SpongeBob, how do you not understand?
You could literally go two different ways with this. You can call me Patrick, or you can call me Gary. Both of them are SpongeBob
watching. I was literally watching SpongeBob last night with my girlfriend.
Straight up, watch SpongeBob High. It'll change your life. Like, I'm not even kidding. All throughout college, like on the weekends, I would just go to my best friend's apartment, and we would just, instead of doing homework, we would just get high and just watch SpongeBob till like 7 o'clock in the morning, and then sleep all day the next day.
Yep.
It was great.
Fair enough.
Nick, did you have anything else to add for this one?
Yeah, actually, YOTM, second favorite song off the record. I think it's very catchy chorus and song in general. Really like it. Really like the fast drums and guitars in this song. I really think going from like the verse into the chorus catches people off guard, and I think it's pretty tight. Which is why it's not fucking around. It's no build-ups or anything. It's literally just, there you go, here's a chorus, and I dig it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Instead of repeating a lot of like verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and then intro, and then verse, pre-chorus, go on, so on and so forth. Yep. I find these guys just went straight into it, and I thought it was pretty good. I liked it, definitely.
Song 7, Killing What's Underneath. I heard this song. This is the song that they're pushing hard right now. I heard it on Octane yesterday on Sirius XM radio. They're pushing, like, this is the kind of like a little bit more of like their mainstream approach. Gives me like definitely Dark Divide feels. And they're using, like, this is like the only real song that they can actually push more towards like a mainstream audience, I think, for this record. But it's on Octane. It's on like actual radio play. But I like that they can still have that kind of heavy aspect. Pretty much every song on Dark Divide and this song, they still have a breakdown. They still have scream aspects. They still have all of that stuff that still makes it kind of their sound. But they've just switched the approach, and they've gone kind of, the opposite, where they would normally have, 75% screams and like a chorus that they sing. Now they do the opposite of that, and they just kind of flip that sound. But it's still, you can still hear very much that it's them, and it really gives. I love this song because it's like, I love his like actual sung vocals. So I just love sitting there and listening to it. And this song, you pretty much get the entire song of just that. So you really get to see how talented a vocalist he really is in that aspect.
Oh yeah. This song threw me for a curveball though, because for some reason, like when I was listening to the first chunk of songs, I was like, okay, like Moths to Flame, they're going back to just having a solid metalcore album. Listening all through the songs, and all of a sudden this one came on, and I was like, what, Paramore? Like the first little guitar riff at the beginning gave me such Paramore vibes, and I was like, did I accidentally leave the album? I literally had to check my phone to make sure it was still playing the album. I was like, what? And then he started singing, and I was like, okay, we're good.
Yep.
I liked this song lyrically, kind of made me feel, gave the vibes of like when you're just so depressed and numb, you're basically just floating. Like, especially when he's like transcending through lifeless dreams. I was like, that floaty vibes that you get when you're just so numb. I liked the lyrics in this. The lyric play was good in this song.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know how I feel about this song, honestly.
It's a weird song.
It is. It's not. It's like what Pat said. It's back to like their Dark Divine kind of sound, kind of mainstream metal. In a way, I'm not saying it's mainstream, but it almost sounds like it is. One thing I pointed out, I don't know if because there's so many fucking layers into the song, but I hear a lot of my microphone, auto tune.
Yep.
I hear a lot of like, I don't know if it's because they're pitch correcting a lot of his missed tone and like the tone in his voice, but there's something off about the vocals. And it's just like a tiny bit. Like if you really pay attention to it, you can really hear it. And there's like, and like, it's nothing bad with using autotune. I mean, if you go from like to rap or to like, anything with metal that has a lot of singing in it, we're not going to be perfect in singing. So we're people still use autotune to this day. Even, Halsey, not a fan of her music, but she uses autotune.
She's a big autotune. She's a big autotune person.
Yeah.
God, I was
a lot of artists use it.
I was looking at a session.
So it's not a bad thing, but you can hear it.
I was listening to Dave. I did a Zoom call with Davis, and I was I did a Zoom call with Davis, who was working on a song, and the amount of effects that he had on my voice was kind of off-putting. It was funny, but it sounded great.
Yeah, see,
as long as it sounds good, I don't care what you do to it. Like, but it's just funny to actually see how much stuff that goes into actually making it sound that good. But it just sounds like me, just a perfect
better
of me. A better version of me. Yeah, I mean, I think that's like, it's one of those things where like once they go down that kind of dark divide, like kind of style, you're almost like, it's weird because you have all of your fans from your earlier stuff. You have the fans that heard all your stuff on mainstream kind of radio stations now through that period of time. So it's almost like you're almost expected to put out at least something for everybody now. And yeah. I mean, this is a great song. I love the song. It doesn't feel out of place on the record. And it gives, it gives like everybody something, right? Like, and it gives something that you can actually put your name back out on radio stations with at least a song on your records. You don't kind of lose that momentum too. I will never, like, if you can make a song that's good, fits the album, if you want to go the heavy direction again, still fits the album, and gives you something that you can send to radio stations that they'll actually play, I'm all for it, because that's the way that you can really generate a wider fan base. So I'll never say not to do that.
It's getting harder for artists to make music because it just, like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't listen to the radio anymore because it just feels like every song sounds the same. nobody's listening to any other genre except for this one chunk of kind of genre, and anything else is just getting brushed under the rug.
And as soon as there's something that's on mainstream radio, because like we have it on at McDonald's all the time, obviously. And as soon as there's something that's actually like catches my ear, and I'm like, oh, like mainstream radio, that's kind of different. Like what? And then like I go and check it out because obviously I want to know about it. But there's not a lot of songs that I do that to, for sure. There's maybe like one or two in like a month that I'll go like, that's a little bit different, kind of interesting. I'm intrigued, you know. But
my restaurant's plagued with Christmas music right now.
Yeah, I know. I refuse. Somebody turned on the Christmas music, and I walked into the kitchen, and I literally unplugged the radio.
We don't have that choice.
I was like, you get like mainstream radio. That's fine. I don't care. You get, you know, whatever you want to put on the radio. As soon as it's Christmas, you get nothing.
No, for us, it's when it's Christmas music, is you touch the radio, you lose a hand. Like my two managers are super serious about Christmas. You touch the radio, you lose a hand.
I was just,
you know what? I'd like to keep my hands.
I was like, you know what? If you want to hear Christmas music, I will sing you my versions of Frosty the Snowman, and that's what you
I love your version of Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman was a very sad soul, had his nose cut off, and no, that's not what it was. It was weird. It's creepy.
In the last podcast.
Frosty the Snowman was a very sad soul. He had his eyes sewn shut, and they cut off his nose, and his teeth were as black as coal.
Yep.
It's pretty fun.
10 out of 10. Played out on fucking the radio, dude. Speaking of radio, what the hell's a radio? I don't remember last time I've listened.
How about we record our version of Frosty the Snowman? We'll put it out.
Hell yeah.
For Christmas.
If we do Christmas album, we're gonna pull a August Burns Red and let's do it full metal.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. As long as I can sing my version of Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, of course, but
do that as an interlude. Do it as an interlude, just in between. Like
we'll put it on our album as an actual interlude in the middle of a non-Christmas album. It'll be the hidden track at the end.
Yes, I like that.
Nice. I'm actually down. That'd be fun.
But you have to do pull a My Chemical Romance with their hidden track Blood and just leave it silent for like a minute and a half before the song starts.
Right.
I actually forgot about that. That's on Black
Blood.
Parade, yeah.
Yeah.
I sang when I was in grade 12, I was that asshole to scare the Niners. I was that heavy emo kid that would run around the hallways singing Blood. And they would all just look at me, and I would just give them this look like I'm gonna kill you, and they were terrified.
All right.
That's how I initiated Niners. I was like, if you can handle all this emo-ness, you pass.
All right, so that's a good segue.
Wait, so
sorry.
Which song on here is only clean vocal?
That's the one we just
Kills Underneath?
Yeah.
Hold up, guys. My computer's glitching out like crazy, and I'm pretty sure all of that probably just got recorded. So repeat what you said.
Killing What's Underneath, is that the song with only clean vocals?
Killing What's Underneath is pretty much, and then Demon of My Own, I believe, is also a clean vocal song.
We haven't got there yet.
No, we haven't.
I'm aware. I'm just putting it out there.
It was weird because if y'all don't know about Like Moths To Flames, is that the frontman Chris was in a band called A Graceful, which I believe were signed with Rise Records, and he also did vocals for Emarosa. So if y'all didn't know, he was originally a clean vocalist, which is cool because A Graceful was totally different compared to everything to Like Moths To Flames and Emarosa. So hearing only his cleans really was really cool because I wasn't expecting from it. So
yeah. A Servant of Plague.
Cool breakdown.
Oh, yeah. I like the breakdown.
Breakdown's nice.
Course.
It's a nice segue back into the intense, heavier songs.
Course didn't do it for me.
Chorus didn't do it for you? It was
no.
I didn't write anything about the chorus, so I don't think it did for me either.
No, it just it's you had like all like, okay, so before I said that there was no point where the vocals lost intensity across the whole record, even in like the less like in the sung parts, all this stuff. Okay, there was one point. The chorus of this song, flat for me. There was like all this aggression, all of this stuff. It was great. The lyrics, everything. I'm just like, this is a killer song. And then it went like
I will admit the lyrics in this song were catchier.
Yes.
Maybe not necessarily like deeper and more meaningful, but they were catchier.
Yes.
In this song.
Yeah.
This is the first song that actually the second song that actually talk about the lyrics. Lifeless dead within. Where do you go when there's no one to listen? Like I really relate to that. You know, coming close from with people in high school. I mean, I didn't have any friends in high school or much in college. You know, I had my little friend group, and that was it. You know, and I can kind of relate to family situations back in the day, especially back in high school. You know, when you're like the sad emo boy in high school, and then or girl, or if they them, whatever you pronounce as yourself. You know, you feel like no one's listening to you, and you feel like you're just dead within, and it's just getting too heavy to drag on. You know, so I relate to that a lot. I really like that line. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, that line definitely stood out to me. But I found this song was kind of weird to me because it almost felt like it just abruptly ended. Like for me, when it got to the end of the song, it felt like there should have been something a little more, because it was like the song just went and then just dropped off and it was over.
Yeah.
And I was kind of caught off guard. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And
excuse me, where'd you go?
Yeah, pretty much. I literally was like, did my headphones just die? But I thought the tempo was cool in the way that it kind of led you to anticipate each and every breakdown before it would kind of like gave a good anticipation into the breakdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't like the ending.
Nope. It just kind of dropped off. I didn't like the chorus, like I said. Didn't like the ending. This is probably, this song fell flat for me for sure. But
good breakdown though.
Good breakdown. That was that was the high point for that for sure. Demon of My Own. I just want to say the last podcast we did, we talked about having a song or on an album kind of having like interesting places where the lyrics shine through, and then having things where like the licks, the guitar licks and the guitar parts kind of shine through on songs, and then having it's also kind of important to have those songs where kind of drums kind of lead the way and kind of have that groove aspect. This song definitely hit that for me. Like the drums, you can tell are kind of, it's like a groovy song. There's a groove to kind of the drum parts and all this kind of stuff. And I feel like it definitely kind of led the way for this song.
Yeah. It was a more chill out vibey song. It was a nice kind of like and for me, some people may have found the placement odd, but I kind of liked the placement where it was just kind of like had like the breakdowns in the last song, and then you could just kind of chill out and vibe to this song afterwards.
Yeah. I feel like the only thing that could have been cooler is if instead of like cutting off the last song, you transitioned it in some way into the groove at the start of this song. Yeah. That would have been a better way to end the last song, and it would have been an interesting way to start this one.
But because we're getting into like the end of the album, this kind of felt like all the other songs were like going up on the roller coaster, and this is kind of the point where we're like starting to bring it down to the end. And I found the placement for this chill out song was perfect for me.
I think I wrote down pretty much the first verse of lyrics because I thought they were really cool. I'm paranoid that you'll leave. Haven't you heard I'm a mess? Don't make excuses for me. I think it's best you don't forget. I let you drown in the deep, forever shadowed underneath. I'm paranoid that you'll leave. It's poetic.
Yeah.
So like you could literally just say that, and it's a poem, and that's so cool.
Basically,
I love that like the lyrics are literally just like poetry.
Oh yeah.
The only other thing that I said about this song is, again, I like how like no matter how laid back they write their songs, and they can get as laid back as they want, they always find that heavy point in their songs.
Mm-hmm.
And like the bridge of the song, I'm pretty sure it was the bridge, they had like a breakdown in this song. Even though it was a laid back approach, a laid back song, they still found that aggressive, that heavy point that they built up to. They do that in every song.
Oh yeah.
Nick, what do you think?
I don't know. I didn't write down anything except for the lyrics, which is a little similar to what you wrote down for what really caught your eye. For some reason, when I was listening to the song and reading the lyrics, it just spoke to me. It just kind of came across. He wrote, thinking I'm addicted to hurt, haven't you heard I'm a mess, for better or for the worse, your heavy heart hangs with regrets. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it is. But spiritually, it spoke to me, and I still have yet to figure out what it means personally to me. And it just spoke to me, and that's really all I wrote for this song. What I think about it.
Yeah.
I like those lyrics. I don't know what it means, but it means something for me, and I gotta figure it out what it means. So that's what it is.
Well, the thing with lyrics is what I like is that you can, no matter who you are, you can interpret it in your own way. Because with lyrics, like there's no right or wrong answer for that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like obviously, when a songwriter is writing the song, it's about a certain circumstance that they've had in their own personal life. But lyrically, they've wrote a good song when they can put the lyrics out in a way that anyone can relate to it and interpret it in their own way.
Yep.
Instead of just the songwriter being like, this is my story, it only happened to me, fuck all your situations, this is about my situation.
I mean, there's certain songs that are brilliantly written about a specific person's situation, and you can tell, but they have to be perfectly written if they're going to be about a specific situation that only happened to one person, right? Or written from that person's point of view for one specific thing, right? Or it's just not going to relate unless it's like you're gonna relate to the people that love songwriting and love stories, right? But you're not going to relate to the general population if you can't broaden your lyrics enough that anybody can relate from any walk of life and anything like that, right?
Yeah.
All right.
2 more songs.
Got 2 songs left here. Hold up. I think so. The next one's Selective Sacrifice, track number 10. I'm trying to find my notes again because they disappeared. There we go. So Selective Sacrifice was actually single number 3.
Interesting.
In my personal opinion, this was the best guitar work on the whole record.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Guitars are pretty good. I like them. Spicy.
You get 2 killer breakdowns.
Yeah.
And a killer chorus. In my personal opinion, YOTM, whatever that abbreviation is, shouldn't have been a single for the record, but this one, they got this one spot on. Habitual Decline and this one, definitely singles.
Interestingly,
definitely.
Like I don't think I can think of a single album where a song that's at the end of the album is one of the singles. So that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because usually the singles on albums are like near the like middle or beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that for sure. I wrote down lyrics and I literally wrote it in my book and I like put a bunch of lines and I wrote the lyrics here because apparently I really wanted to talk about them. Because I like put a bunch of X's in my notes, like remember these. Nothing heaven like, death, it never sleeps until you're broken, out of time, questioning everything, but answers never came. The darkness brought paradise, selective sacrifice paid in full just to feel alive.
Heavy.
I don't really know.
This song made me think of high school.
Kind of.
Because it made me like vibe. Because like the way I perceived the lyrics was like the perception of being like that outcast. And I come from like a small ass like white country bumpkin town. So if you were one of like the weird emo kids, like you were such an outcast. You stuck out like a sore thumb. And literally, even if you tried to act normal, everybody was just basically like, "Oh, you look weird, fuck off." So like lyrically, this song made me think of high school, and I was kind of vibing with it.
Okay. What do you think, Nick?
Kind of relate. I wrote down. I wrote down "Sick Breakdown" again. I don't know why, but I don't know. There's like two of them.
There's two of them.
There's two of them in this song, but like, I guess both of them are fucking sick.
Yeah.
I really like both of them. They're. It's actually a really good song. I don't really mind this song at all. I wrote down for lyrics that Chris wrote. Don't blame me when you're the one empty and alone, and I kind of relate. Because when you're always friends with some people or some people in general that you try to bring them out, you try to do these things with them, you try to go out, have some drinks or just have a fun time in general, just walk around in town and just talk, but they don't want to, or they always make other plans, or you don't feel important to them, so I feel like don't blame me when you're the one empty and alone just really speaks to me when some past friendships that I had and some past memories that I had with people. So I kind of relate to that. It's really sick. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
that's a sick way to interpret that lyric. Fuck, I like that.
Thank you.
Spiritual Eclipse. The intro faked me out, yo. The intro faked me out. I thought you were gonna get like another like just kind of sung more slow, laid back song, and then it hit you in the face.
It was like a fake out. It was like, oh, you think we're gonna be casual? No, fuck you. We're partying.
Yeah, literally.
Great last song. Great final song for an album.
What really stood out is like when you thought you'd heard the best chorus on the record, when you thought you'd heard the best breakdowns on the record, when you thought you heard everything, they attempted in one song to blow everything else out of the water. It's not my favorite breakdown. It's not my favorite chorus. It's not my favorite song, but everything in this song is like Moths To Flames. It's literally.
Yeah.
The drummer went fucking hard on this last song.
Yes. And I love
the drumming stuck out so hard for me.
They ended it with a breakdown, which is really cool. They ended the whole album with a breakdown, which I love. And during the breakdown, he literally screams "No eternity in gold."
Yeah.
Which I thought was a really cool way to end the album.
Yeah.
Just circle it all the way back.
On the album.
Yeah. It's the perfect curtain call for the album for sure.
Fantastic. I agree.
Yep.
Y'all literally just said what I wrote down, so I don't have to cover anything.
Sorry, bro. Here's
the production value on this whole album.
Yeah.
Way compared to all their other albums, they've stepped up their production value. And from what I've heard, like just remembering their old albums and then looking at this one, is this one of their best albums? Maybe, maybe not. But production value wise alone, definitely their best work so far. There was a lot more effort. There was a lot more effort and work put into this album, I think.
I can see maybe not like production wise, but in terms of like overall songwriting and like overall creativity and overall just sitting down and just writing freaking killer lyrics. I can see the amount of work that went into this album, and I think in terms of sitting down and like I'm just thinking about it from a vocal standpoint, because that's kind of what I've been doing most of the day. I I can see the amount of work that went into making sure every lyric hit the right tone, making sure every line was said in a specific way and every lyric stood out in a specific way, which coming from like a vocal perspective or a person who writes lyrics and stuff, that says it all. That is literally your job. And he nailed it with this album. There's not a single lyric that like falls flat. There's not in terms of like every single song, the tone and the approach, I think, was dead on. So
Oh yeah.
I'm actually reading up a bit about this record right now. Because I don't have a drummer currently. They had an old member from another band, The Air I Breathe.
The Air I Breathe, yeah.
But he's not in the band anymore. I forgot the drummer's name. But right now they for that album they got Isaiah from Phineas that played drums for.
Okay.
And Phineas is such a really good band. They're I think that he's gonna be on if touring comes back. He's probably going to be touring with them for a little bit because Phineas are kind of not really doing their thing since one of the guitar players is in Fit for a King right now. But anyway, so I didn't know that. So and Isaiah's a really good drummer, which I played a show with them back in 2015 or 16. So.
Oh, okay.
Here is one question.
Yeah.
Think about all the songs on the record. If you were going to put out the first single on this album, if that was your call, what album do you use to be able to be like, hey, this sums up the album as a whole and what you can expect from us?
I think personally, number one single would be for me would be The Anatomy of Evil. Not because it's my favorite song, like my favorite song off the whole record. I think it's a fantastic way to really introduce yourself. Like, hey, yo, we're back with under a new label and fresh sound and everything. Reason why, it reminds me a lot of The Worst in Me off of their first record, When We Don't Exist. When I heard it, I heard the intro of it and I was like, this is gonna slap, and it slapped. It was such a good song, and I think being personally one of the best songs, maybe it shouldn't have been because it's it's kind of like giving you the best songs off the record that I love. So it kind of, but I think it'd be a good idea, because if you give your first best songs, it's kind of like spoiling the best ones and then not saving any good ones for when the whole album release. But it's a good way to show that you're back. So I'd say The Anatomy of Evil.
What do you think?
What were the singles again?
Habitual Decline was the first one.
Yes.
YOTM was the second one, and then Selective Sacrifice.
And Killing What's Underneath was the fourth.
Was the one that's on radio right now. It came out when the album came out.
Basically, like a few days before the album came out.
Yeah.
So I think all those ones are good, like except for YOTM. I think I'd keep those ones, and like I would honestly swap YOTM out with Fluorescent White because I think that is also kind of a good song to kind of display that, by the way, this album's going to be display like a mix of screams and the vocals as well, just in case like I said earlier, this album is good if you're wanting to like segue someone in more into metalcore. Like this album is a good kind of segue for them. So to have like a single that would also display a bit more vocals in it, I think would have been a good choice for them.
Fair. In terms of a first single, I think they got it right. I'm gonna say Habitual Decline would be the one that I would go with. I think that's they nailed that on the head. It's like just that it's got a killer chorus, it's got a sick breakdown, it's got the lyrics are tight. I think just in general, it's like Moths to Flames. It's what you expect.
Yeah.
It doesn't throw anybody any curveballs or anything like they did with the last record, right? When they came out with the last record, the first single was fucking Nowhere Left to Sink.
That one was
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
And that was like a massive curveball. There's like no screams in that whole song. Like there's like a couple notes where they actually have screams in that song, and that was the first single. So this one gets you like right back to like the Like Moths To Flames that you know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So let's dive into least favorite song on the whole record. Lindsay, go.
YOTM. Or not YOTM. No, that was in the middle. What am I like? I need to scroll down.
I was gonna say, wow, you switched it up. But you switched it up a lot there.
Selective Sacrifice was my least favorite.
Really?
Whoa.
That throws a curveball right there. That throws a curveball.
That's a curveball, isn't it?
Yeah.
That song, like, I don't know why for me, like if I look at all the other songs as a whole, for some reason, this song just kind of just like blended in the background for me, where I was like thinking of all the songs where I could be like, okay, what songs can I name off right off the bat? Like this song didn't even come in the top 5 for me of being able to name them off. It's still a good song, and lyrically, I think it's a great song. The breakdowns in this were great, but I don't know. It kind of just fell a little flat for me in like being memorable kind of thing.
Okay, fair. Mine would be A Servant of Plague for sure. Course didn't hit. Breakdown's cool. Breakdown's cool. Course didn't hit. And that was like a huge like letdown, I want to say. Because I think every single course slapped on the whole record, and it was just almost like an expectation. And then I was like, what's this? I'm let down. No. Yeah, so that's probably the reason why that would be my bottom song on the record. Nick.
I got a few.
He's got more than one.
I got a few.
Just like bring out my list, like.
Because there's only one song that's my favorite. All the other ones are my least favorite.
Okay, how about this? Because there's like when I heard the first track, I was like, yes, this record's gonna be good. Listening to the rest of it, kind of disappointed, honestly, because the first track really played me out. It was like, hey, this is classic Like Moths To Flames. I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be as good as When We Don't Exist and Eye for an Eye. And at the end of the fucking record, I was like, okay, this kind of wasn't good, but it was better than Dark Divine and The Dying Things We Live For. But so Anatomy of Evil my number 1 for sure. YOTM my number 2, and God Complex my number 3. I'll give it that because I can't say that's like my 3 favorites. The rest were iffy for me, but I like the heavy stuff. And God Complex number 3 because it's trippy and it's a catchy chorus, very technical, totally different for Like Moths To Flames.
Yep.
And that really surprised me. That's why it's in my top 3. The rest were okay, but I wasn't a fan of this record, but it was better than the last 2 recents. I'll say that.
Okay.
That's fair. I find like Anatomy of Evil really sets the bar super high for the rest of it. So it's like a great first song, but at the same time, it kind of screws over the rest of the song.
Yeah, it does. It literally does. It really does.
That's why I'm saying they should have started it off with Habitual Decline. Put that one somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
If they switched both of those, it would have been probably way better. The record would have probably been way better. If they got a bigger intro for Habitual Decline and then switch it with The Anatomy of Evil, oh, dude, that'd be such a good. Because
I guarantee you, they're gonna have a long ass, drawn out intro when shows come back, and they're gonna drop into Habitual Decline. I guarantee you, that's gonna be their opening song. 100%.
That. Or since shows hasn't come back, or shows won't come back for a while, and people and Like Moths To Flames fans are gonna really want to see them, either that song's gonna open or GNF.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they've always done GNF. GNF's been like a staple. Yeah. That's like that's been their opening song for years.
Lies. When I saw them with North Lane at Ritual in Ottawa, they opened with The Worst in Me and finished off with GNF.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah,
that would have been so cool.
They're closing. Like I
Yeah.
find with that song, they never throw it in the middle. It's always
Yeah.
either at the very beginning or the very
Yeah.
end.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay, Patrick.
Uh,
Nick said his favorite song. What's your favorite song?
what's your favorite song?
I want you to go first.
You want me to go first?
I asked you first.
I wanted to do this at the end because I thought it would be really funny. I swear I'm not doing it on purpose, but Selective Sacrifice is my favorite song.
Patrick, no, it's not.
It is my favorite song. I'm not even joking. We did it again.
Not again.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh. I forget what I don't even remember what your least favorite song was.
My least favorite was
my favorite is
say what you
mine was my favorite was so I actually had a tie this time because I couldn't pick between the two. Even though they're both very different, I picked my number one to be both Habitual Decline and Demon of My Own.
Okay.
Oh,
cool.
Okay.
At least
I like that they're both very
Sick.
different, but they both gave me something that I liked from
Sick.
both of them.
At least your favorite wasn't a Servant of Plague, or we would have had a problem. Because that was my least favorite.
Oh, that was your least favorite?
Yeah, that was definitely my least favorite.
Okay.
So
at least my favorite wasn't the least favorite this time.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like that would have been horrible. So as a whole album, start to back, we've gone through all of the individual songs. As an album as a whole, what would you rate this album? 1 to 10. Lindsay, give Nick an example. You go first.
I'm gonna say, and I literally, like I say this every time, I do not remember what the hell I ranked the other ones, because literally as soon as we finish filming an episode, I'm like, hey, that's gone out of my brain. Goodbye. I'm gonna focus on the next one. But I'm gonna give this one a 5.5 to 6. Just because, especially being like an OG Like Moths to the Flame fan, I grew up with them. It was nice to see them kind of go back to their roots. But obviously with the times changing, you kind of have to modernize. But the modernization of your sound can either flop or it can work. And their blend of modern and still using the old school shit, it's working, but not in a way that works for me.
Yeah.
Because call me picky, I don't listen to a lot of new music anyways, so I'm very like old school hipster way in my sound, like with listening to music. Like I don't know half the music that came out in 2020 or even 2019.
Yo, so, when we do our countdown, you're gonna have to think about it.
When we do, I'm literally gonna have to binge all the music that came out in 2020, like a week before our New Year's podcast. Because I'm literally gonna be like, I don't know any of them. But yeah, no, with this album too, I think I would have ranked it higher if I didn't know Like Moths to Flame. But because I'm like a OG fan of them, I feel like that's why I'm ranking it kind of lower.
Yeah. I feel that. I would give it probably, I'm trying to think of what I ranked the other ones. 5.5. 5.5.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a 5.5
out of 10.
Out of 10, it's 5.5.
Out of 10, yeah, just out of 10.
So take this into consideration, okay? I ranked the last one we did was like a masterpiece. Like I could not, like lyrically it was amazing. Everything was amazing. It hasn't come out yet, so I can't tell you the name right now. Actually, yes, I can, because this is coming out after. Bad Flower, Okay, I'm Sick is the album. The band is Bad Flower, Okay, I'm Sick is the record.
Yep.
It's one of the best albums that I think have come out in the last couple of years, and I ranked it an 8.
Yeah.
Tickets to My Downfall, Machine Gun Kelly, I loved that record. It's the first one we did. I ranked that a 7. This doesn't come close to either one of those to me. It's a 5.5.
I think I ranked the Machine Gun Kelly like a 6 or a 7 too.
Yeah.
And then I literally don't even remember what we ranked Smell Smoke by Wonderbar.
No
I
idea.
literally don't even remember.
I know I ranked it like a 3, but
but for Nick, the way that I kind of rank is like for the only way I will give it a 9 or a 10 is if I have next to no complaints about it. And then like if I have like next to no good things about it, that's when it'll go like 1 or 2. And then everywhere else, like from the 3 to 7 or 8 range, is where it's kind of like the in between.
Yeah.
That's
so what do you
how I
think?
go by ranking.
Well, I already made up my rank, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, and others. For shits and giggles and all the memes, I put a 6.9 for 69 out of 10.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now, let me explain. Yes, I was kind of disappointed with a lot, not a lot, but a few of their songs, or majority of their songs, I can say. But they brought back their classic sound. So that brought me up a lot. And then they had their new sound, which they put it the trippy sounds and God Complex and another song, but I forgot to write it down, so I can't tell you which one it was. But in a few of the songs, they use a lot of effects instead of just straight distortion and a bit of reverb and delay and some guitar leads in here and there. In this record, they bring out the trippy sound, which I really love. So that boosts it up. But with a lot of songs that I don't like on this record, I just give it a 6.9 out of 10 because it was way better than Dark Divine, and yeah, so I'll give it that. I'm actually happy they brought back their old sound, so I'll give 6.9 out of 10.
I think the other trippy song you may have been thinking of was Fluorescent White, because that was the one with the guitar riff that kind of sounded like sound like a snake charmer kind of thing.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, I think so.
So that puts a wrap.
Did you tell Nick to pick a song of the day?
I did.
Yes, I already have a song of the day.
Song of the week or song of the week?
Before we do that, I'm just gonna say that wraps up our review on.
Wait, can I add something?
Yes.
I want to add something to this segment of this record.
Okay.
Best breakdown of the whole album, Selective Sacrifice.
Oh, I feel like you're just saying that because I hated that. That was my least favorite song. I didn't hate the song, but it was my least favorite song.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Breakdowns are
I have to agree.
Song,
oh, you know what? No, I do not agree. I liked the breakdown. Hold up. Spiritual Eclipse. The breakdown that ends the record, really? I think, was my favorite breakdown.
Oh, actually, yeah. That was a sick way to end the
because that was like a minute long, just freaking breakdown. Right. It was crazy. I love that.
Well, I was gonna say Selective Sacrifice award for best breakdown, but if we're all on different pages, then fuck the award. Then never mind.
I'm sorry.
I personally, I really no, it's all good. It's your guys' podcast. I'm not making the rules here, so. But I really like that breakdown.
It's a killer breakdown.
Have any rules?
We have no rules. If you want to make up a new segment on the spot, just do it. Hold up.
Anarchy.
Hold up. Everything's lagging.
I mean, not all songs or not all bands are gonna.
No.
Is this what happens when we have 4 episodes in? Mine's not lagging, so I'm just watching all this.
Hold up. Am I back?
Yeah, you never left.
Hello?
I never left.
You never left. You're like, guys, it's lagging. Guys, it's lagging.
You guys all left. I swear to
God.
No, you all
literally,
left.
You just, for me, nothing changed. It was literally just you going, guys, I'm lagging. And me and Nick being like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It literally said connection lost. And I was like, no, we have to do it all over again.
That's what happens when you live in a basement.
You know what? Shh.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I live on the top floor, baby.
Noise.
I have my own apartment, motherfuckers.
Noise.
Oh, I wish I used to.
All right.
Song of the week.
Song of the week.
Do I start off this one?
Frig, go for it, man.
Let Nick start off because he's the guest.
Actually, I don't even know why. Okay, so you're just gonna have to if there's anything that I have to add on to it, then just let me know. My song of the week, hands down, and I love this band to earth. Shout out Ontario hardcore, man. Falsifier, Dog Eat Dog. Classic song. I love the band to death. I don't know what much to say. It was just they did a split EP with a band called Victims, which I believe they're from the US. And it's my song of the week. I don't know what else much to say because I have no clue what to say about it.
That is pretty much all you have to say.
Yep.
It's really cool if you guys are really into like deathcore and really heavy stuff, hardcore. It's really cool because their outro, they end it with like a trap kind of beat, drums, and then there's like a guitar lick on it. Oh, dude, it's so you guys have to listen to it. It's so good. It's
sorry.
really heavy.
It'll be on our playlist.
It will be on the playlist.
Put it on the playlist.
I just want to say we've invented a new genre of music. It's called trapped kind of beat drums.
You guys can't just create that shit. We can't just
you
create.
Can create anything you want.
You just created it.
That's the beauty of
trapped
music.
Kind of beat drums.
Trap kind of beat drums.
Yep. You've just created it.
I guess we made a new subgenre to the rap.
Yep.
Good.
Shit. Fuck.
Patent it. Copyright.
Yep. And it's kind of funny because ironically, because I don't like people creating new subgenres. It's like it's either metalcore, but then if you add like hardcore, okay, yeah, cool, there's punk, but then you can't add like metalcore or melodic hardcore to it because it's not a thing. It'd be considered as metalcore. But I'm just being hypocritical right now. So
there's too many genres.
There's too many
genres.
All right,
I want to go back to the basics.
Yes. We went from like Nick's hardcore crazy stuff that we're talking about, and I'm gonna go completely the opposite way, and I'm gonna go with my song of the week. I do not know why, but this is literally the song that I have listened to the most this week for no apparent reason. Apparently I just needed a funny kind of weird somewhat uplifting song. Cotton Candy from Youngblood. I do not know why, but that song has been on repeat in my car for like the last week.
Youngblood. He just seems like the funniest fucking dude ever.
I would love to just be in a room with him for like an hour.
I just don't know where his energy comes from. I feel like I would love to I'd love to be in a room with him, but after like 10 minutes, I'd be like, you need to go away because you
sit down, please.
Sit down, please. You're making me tired just looking at you.
It's kind of funny that you're mentioning Youngblood because I forgot when this was. Maybe a few days ago, maybe a week ago. My girlfriend literally had a dream. She woke up and she literally told me that she had a dream that me, Pat, we were in her dream, and then we were in class for some reason. Youngblood came to class, went up to Pat and said, "Yo, let's start a band." Pat replied, "Oh man, I'm kind of down, but I'm doing something with my buddy." Then Youngblood proceeded to come to me and goes, "Yo, let's start a band." Literally same pitch, same everything, whatever. So that's kind of funny how you're mentioning Youngblood's one of your song of the week right now. So
yo, that would actually be so. Oh man,
that'd be sick.
If only that happened, yo.
Oh
if only.
Maybe it did.
Because like the whole performance that he always puts on is literally just a guitar player, the drummer, backing tracks, and him.
Yeah.
I'll be the guitar player, you be the drummer, backing tracks, him. Done.
That'd be sick. I'd go to that show.
I mean, yeah, because it's me and Nick.
Fuck Youngblood. I'll go for you guys.
Yeah. That's what it is. What's your song of the week?
So I have a funny story to go with my song of the week.
Oh,
so even though you guys don't really have a reason for yours, I have a funny story to back up my reasoning for mine. Okay. Because in case, Nick, you're meeting me for the first time. Patrick, in case you couldn't tell, I shaved my head. And when I just recently I reshaved it.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Now I see it.
So I reshaved my head on the weekend, and then I was like thinking back to like when I first shaved my head. And when I first shaved my head, it was literally I got drunk and I was like, it's too hot. What's the best choice for me to cool down? Lose all my hair. And for some reason, the music that the song that I listened to when I drunkenly shaved my head was Ignorance by Paramore. So then when I was cutting my hair again, I was like, oh, I've had this haircut for a while now. Let's throw that song back on. So I was like just shaving my head again, listening to that song. And I was like, fuck, this was a great drunken choice, both musically and aesthetically. And just like, I don't care if my shaved head looks good. It just feels good not to have hair anymore. Every female person should try not having hair. It's fucking phenomenal. And that's my PSA of the week and my song of the week. All of it.
So if you take anything away from this podcast, you should take away with the fact that Lindsay just said all girls should be bald.
It just like, it honestly feels great not to have hair. Like when I shaved it, like because like I figured out a good style for the top bit, but like when I first shaved it, it looked fucking awful. But like the whole time I was like, man, just getting up and going to work feels fucking great. Touching the back of my head, I get why dudes like it when like their girlfriends or boyfriends like play with the back of their head. It makes sense now. I get it. I hated it when I had long hair. I get it now. And it's just like, it's very freeing. Everybody asked me if I was gay when I shaved my head. And I was like, you know what? That's fine. I'll trick all y'all. I'll look like a lesbian. Whatever. That is okay. Shave your head, folks.
Do it.
Actually, my girlfriend shaved the side of her head.
Fuck
Not fully,
yeah.
but like, yeah.
Going for a Skrillex vibe?
No, completely. It's like the sideburn kind of part. It's just kind of like this side. I can't really show you right now.
Oh fuck.
Just like take your computer into the other room and be like, show me the side of your head.
You do realize I'm on a desktop, right? You do realize I got to bring this giant tower, unplug it, plug it back in, and then it takes about 10 minutes because I don't have an SSD on there to run. So just give me like maybe 30 minutes. Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good, man.
Play Jeopardy music.
Yeah. Da, 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 da. Have you left yet? No. Okay.
Speaking of Jeopardy, rest in peace, Alex Trebek.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's everywhere. I can't run away. There's magazines at fucking Walmart because I'm a cashier, and there's everywhere. It's Alex Trebek. It's everywhere. I can't run away from it. I gotta cry while I bag stuff.
I stopped crying like an hour ago to do this podcast, and now you've brought it back into my mind, so I'm gonna have to go and do it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go cry after this podcast because I actually forgot. You know. It's fine.
This was supposed to be my 2 hours to not cry, and you've just ruined it for me.
Made you cry. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's
glad to be a part of this podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking my virginity podcast.
Hell yeah. We're here to take everyone's virginity.
Oh boy.
The next guest, all the guests we have, will just be like,
I just want to say,
yeah, you ain't a virgin no more. Congratulations.
I did not sign up for this. I signed up to do a podcast, not this.
We had no plans or no rules when we started this. So
it's true. So whatever goes. Whatever happens. Whatever floats your boat.
We both work at McDonald's. We know that we thrive in the chaos.
Whatever chaos.
Wait, do y'all work together?
No.
We did for a hot minute when I lived in Ottawa.
We did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Back in the college days.
But now I'm back in my country bumpkin banjo diddling town.
Do you live east side of Toronto or like
we're like
or far away from
Toronto. I'm north of Toronto.
Oh.
I'm like an hour and a half from Toronto.
Okay. I just had a feeling you were from the GTA area.
Okay. I know we're supposed to end the podcast, but I have a fucking asshole customer rant. And I feel like even though you work at McDonald's, you can appreciate my asshole customer
Let's go.
rant. So
I'll give you the manager perspective. I'll give you the manager perspective of your asshole customer
I think I handled it very well.
Okay.
So like I've said before, I come from a white ass town. I have this fucking and like obviously it's 2020. It's not strictly white. We have like non-white people working at McDonald's. I don't know if non-white's like a politically correct way to say it, but like you know what I mean. And so this guy was working at the first drive-through window and I was on the second drive-through window. I have this like dude come drive up to my window, not even in his fucking 50s. Like there's no way he can't even be 50 yet. Comes up to me and I'm just trying to hand him his coffee. I'm about to be like, oh, hey, here's your coffee. And before I even open my fucking mouth, he's like, that guy on the first window is rude. And I was like, what? And he's like, if someone can't speak English, they shouldn't work here. And I just kind of like slowly bring the coffee back to me. And I was like, excuse me? And he's like, if someone can't speak English, they shouldn't work at a McDonald's. And I was like, but he can speak English. And he was like, well, I couldn't understand him. And I was like, well, maybe if you took the time to listen, you would know what the fuck he said. Here's your coffee. And I slammed the window on him. And he just looked at me like, what the? And he just looked at me and I just went like this. And he just drove away. And then everybody just like watched the whole thing happen. And then just like the slow clap where everybody was like,
I had.
And I was like, fuck your shit. Don't bring your racist ass into my fucking restaurant.
I had a guy. This was like years ago. This might have even been before we worked together. This might have been before college even. This was like a long time ago. I'm on a headset somewhere. I don't even know where I am.
Somewhere.
I'm on a headset somewhere taking an order. And this guy comes up and he's like speaking French, and I don't speak French.
Oh yeah, I heard.
I've told you this one, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't speak French, so I just go, hey, like, sorry, like I don't speak French. And he goes, it is mandatory for all people within Ontario to be able to speak both French and English if you want to work at a workplace. And my response was, actually, law states that it is required that I am able to provide you with both French and English service at a workplace. Would you like me to get that person for you? And he backed up out of the drive-thru and went away. I'm like, okay.
Patrick, when I was working at your McDonald's, I had this lady come up to me while I was on service, and she was speaking to me in French, and then I spoke to her in English, and then she was like, why are you speaking English? And I was like, oh, if I can understand French, I suck at pronouncing words. So like, if you want to speak French because you're more comfortable with that, you can continue speaking French. I can't pronounce French words properly, so I just am more comfortable speaking English. And I was like, but it's no big deal if you want to keep speaking French to me. And then she started like basically cussing about me in French. And I was like I said, I can understand what you're saying. You don't need to try and insult me to my face. What can I get for you? And then she was like, oh, and then she just kind of walked away. And I was like, I literally told you I understand French. I told you can keep speaking French if you want to. I don't care.
I'll do one more story, and this one's definitely the best story of all.
We need a McDonald's.
We really do, but I will do one more story. Nick, you've definitely heard this one.
Oh yes, I already know what's coming up.
It's it's the best story. It's the worst thing I've ever done in my life, but it is absolute genius. So this I don't even know how to approach this story.
Is it the black coffee?
Yeah, I think it's going to be somewhat offensive no matter how I approach this. So
maybe don't say this in the podcast.
I'm pretty sure this happened when I was working with you.
Most likely. I
know this story too.
There was a larger black man came through the drive-thru, ordered a large black coffee, comes up. I'm at the second window handing out the coffee, and he's just like, just want to make sure, like, what's in my coffee? And I'm like, it's a large black man.
Oh, I was there for that. I remember that.
I just like kind of stood there. I'm like, what are you gonna do to me, sir? Like, like I didn't know what to do. I was like, I didn't mean to do this. Like,
you were the reason that whenever someone gets a black coffee, I always make sure to say black coffee. I always make sure to say coffee because of you.
Large black man. Like, oh crap. Like,
maybe cut that part out of the podcast.
Oh no.
No, it's fine.
I'm not sure. That's fine.
I mean, it wasn't intended to didn't mean it to come out like that. That's for sure. I was just saying, hey, it's a large black coffee, but I said it wrong. Cool.
That
so
okay.
to anything else anyone wants to say?
I never worked at McDonald's, but I worked at Tim Hortons.
Bro, I got you an interview at McDonald's, but you didn't go.
Yeah, because I fucking okay. I had another important interview, which was huge, but I didn't get the job, so I kind of fucked that up myself there. So yeah.
You had a guaranteed job at McDonald's, my friend.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
I know.
That's okay. Cool. So to end off the podcast, see if I do this right this time. You ready, Lindsay?
Yep.
All right.
He somehow fucks up one of them up.
I always. I did it last time too, but this is really funny. Okay. Like our Facebook page. Follow our Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow and listen to our podcast on Spotify, and listen to and follow our Song of the Week playlist, which is in the description of the video on YouTube. Boom! I got it.
Yes, you did it. It only took 4 episodes.
See, like all of the other ones I messed up. And then last time we thought I nailed it, and we were like, "Yeah, you did it!" And then I was listening back to it when I was like listening through everything to make sure everything was
YouTube
good.
Page,
and I said YouTube
channel.
page, not YouTube channel.
Both works.
I mean, it's not. No.
Both works. Honestly, it's not.
But we're going
bad.
for like that proper.
Yeah, proper, real stuff. You know.
Terminology
is correct. Also, I did not say let's do an album number this time. I said we didn't even do that. I said.
You never even.
I said rate.
You were like, what would you rate the album or something? Yeah. I don't even remember. Yeah. That was like.
That was way back.
So everything that we did in this podcast was actually correct. I just want to say that.
For once.
Right.
For one time. Nick's the good luck charm. We're gonna have to bring him back.
I get to pick the next album, Patrick. We're going back to me.
Oh crap!
Full circle.
Oh
you want to do K-pop next week?
Oh my gosh! Do I ever want to do K-pop? I'm so excited. Nick's like, bring me back, please.
Okay. So with this, I'm learning that we're actually going to have to do 2 episodes K-pop because my other friend also wants to be here for a K-pop episode. So basically, I'm going to invite Nick back for a K-pop, and then I'm going to run another episode with my other friend for K-pop, and you're going to be we're going to be the odd one out for you, Patrick.
Cool. Or we could just bring them both on at the same time.
Ooh.
Do a 4-person K-pop episode.
Well, here's the thing. The only K-pop that I listen to is BTS, just because they're hilarious. Like, I really love the guys. They're fucking funny as shit.
To be fair, they're one of the first K-pop groups to break the American Billboard or the North American Billboard, so that is fair.
Yes. Oh, wasn't it Blackpink though?
BTS was the first to enter the charts. Blackpink was the first to top the charts.
Ah, got you.
There's only one K-pop song from Blackpink that I've ever actually listened to. So, to be completely honest, Nick, you're also probably about as clueless as I am to what she's going to be giving us. So
I also listen to a lot more obscure K-pop groups.
Yep.
Like ones that haven't even broken the North American charts. I'm a super nerd. I'm into Korean and Thai culture, so I'll like watch their like TV shows and their movies too. You're not ready. I'm not gonna do K-pop next week because we're talking about it, but
oh fuck,
I'm not ready when I do.
I actually, if y'all really like pop punk, I know Pat does. I figured out about this pop punk Japanese band, and I'm gonna send it to y'all.
Oh hell yeah!
Because it's really good. Oh no, it's really good. It's super fucking good.
Shout it out. Shout it out. Shout it out.
Hold on, I'm looking through my okay. Well, the title is Japanese, but the band's called the band's called Wanima. And
Wanima. Okay.
And it's basically how I figured out it's a Switch game, which is like you kind of play drums.
Oh,
and it's such a fun game. But they're really popular, and I'm gonna send it to y'all because it's a really fucking fantastic song. So
sick, man. Do it. I think this is a good place. This is a good place to end the actual podcast here. I'm dead serious when I say that we are the worst at ending these things.
Oh yeah, because we just get distracted and talk about random shit.
Yeah, I always say, "Yo, we're gonna end it here," and then like 30 minutes later, I'm like, "Hey, we should probably end it." So then I do the social medias, and then 30 minutes later, I'm like, "Hey, can we actually end this?" Like,
do you want me to?
Okay, we'll give our deuces and we'll go.
Do you want me to finish it off for you guys?
Sure.
Yeah, do your do.
All right. Thank you for watching the Dumpster Fire podcast, Patrick and Liz. Right? I don't know if I'm saying
whatever.
Whatever your name, whatever, Liz. Thank you for having me on here. Make sure to check them out on all their social media. Am I allowed to plug my clout?
Do it.
Yeah, why not?
Follow my Twitch. I stream some video games. Twitch.tv/toss a salad. No capitals, no space, whatever. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for having me, guys. It was a really pleasure.
Oh, it was a lot of fun, man.
Oh, fuck yeah. This is sick.
We'll have you back soon for sure.
For sure.
I'll have you back for the K-pop. Deuces.
Peace. Adios. Bye.